All right, let's talk about Amazon One medical membership, the healthcare bargain that's so good, it almost feels like you're cheating the system. For $9 a month, you basically get a doctor on speed dial. And I mean that literally. You can message these people at 3 in the morning about your weird symptoms, and they'll actually respond. Now, before we get into the good stuff, let's address the elephant in the room. And yes, you need Amazon Prime to get this deal. Prime costs $15 a month, so we're talking about $24 total per month for both services. I know, there's another subscription, but stick with me here because I'm about to show you why this might be the best $24 you spend all month. Let's start with what you actually get for your $9. First up is 24/7 virtual care, not business hours care, not please call back during normal operating hours care. I'm talking about genuine round-the-clock access to licensed healthcare providers. Your kid spikes a fever at midnight? Text a doctor. You wake up Sunday morning with a suspicious rash? Video chat with a provider. It's like having a medical hotline, except it actually works. And then there's something called Treat Me Now. This is basically healthcare for people who hate talking to people. You answer some questions in the app about your symptoms, stuff like urinary tract infections, seasonal allergies, or pink eye, and a provider reviews your answers and sends you a treatment plan. No awkward video calls where you're trying to angle your phone so your doctor can see your mysterious bump. Just good old-fashioned text-based medicine. But wait, there's more. You also get urgent video chats for when you need to actually see a human face. These providers can prescribe medications, give you medical advice, and help you figure out if that thing you're worried about is actually worth worrying about. And here's something that might surprise you. One Medical has over 200 physical offices across the country. If you live near one of these offices, your membership gets you easy booking for same-day and next-day appointments. We're talking about actual in-person healthcare that doesn't require you to book an appointment 3 weeks in advance. Now, let's talk about family plans because this is where things get really interesting. You can add up to 5 additional family members for just $6 each per month. So a family of 4 would pay $9 for the first person plus $18 for 3 additional members, totaling $27 a month. That's less than most families spend on coffee. Let me give you some real-world examples of how this works. Meet Maria. Maria is a freelance graphics designer, which means her health insurance situation is about as stable as a house of cards in a windstorm. Last Tuesday, she started having symptoms of a urinary tract infection. In the old days, Maria would have 2 tough choices: suffer through it and hope it goes away, or go to urgent care and drop a couple $100. Instead, Maria opened her One Medical app, selected Treat Me Now, answered some questions about her symptoms, and within an hour, had a prescription for antibiotics sent directly to her pharmacy. Total additional costs beyond her monthly membership? $0. Zero. Or take John, who deals with anxiety and needs occasional check-ins with a healthcare provider. Before One Medical, John was paying for individual therapy sessions and doctor visits that cost him about $150 each time. Now he has unlimited virtual consultations with providers who can adjust his medications, provide counseling, and help him manage his condition, all for $9 a month. But let's do some real math here. The average urgent care visit costs between $150 and $300. A regular doctor's visit runs about $200 without insurance. If you use One Medical just once every few months, you're already coming out ahead. Use it more than that and you're basically printing money. Now, I need to be honest with you about what's not included because I don't want you thinking this is some magic healthcare unicorn. In-person visits at Medical One offices aren't free. They're billed to your insurance or you pay cash. The $9 membership covers all the virtual stuff. But if you want to actually sit in a room with a doctor, that's extra. Also, this isn't going to replace specialist care. One Medical providers can refer you to specialists, but they can't perform surgery or treat complex conditions. Think of them as your first stop for healthcare, not your last stop. And let's talk about medications for a second. One Medical providers can prescribe medications, but the prescriptions themselves cost extra. That's where Amazon Pharmacy and RxPass come in. We'll cover that in the next few modules. Here's how to actually sign up for this thing. First, you need Amazon Prime. If you don't have it already, you can sign up at Amazon.com. Once you've got Prime, go to health.amazon.com/Prime and look for One Medical membership option. You'll see options for monthly or annual billing. I recommend starting with monthly until you're sure you like it. The sign-up process is pretty straightforward. You'll enter some basic health information, choose whether you want to add family members, and then you'll be guided to download the Medical One app. The app is where all the magic happens, so make sure you actually download it and set it up. Setting up your health profile is important. Don't skip this part. The more accurate information you provide, the better care you'll receive. Include your current medications, allergies, medical history, and any ongoing health conditions. I know it's tempting to speed through this part, but trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Now let's talk about geographic limitations. One Medical's virtual care is available nationwide, so even if you live in the middle of nowhere, you can still access all the virtual services. But if you want access to their physical offices, you need to live near one of their locations. They're mostly in major cities, so if you're in rural Kansas, you'll be sticking with virtual care. The good news is that virtual care covers about 80% of what most people need healthcare for. Colds, flu, minor infections, skin conditions, mental health check-ins, prescription renewals. All of this can be handled virtually. One thing that's really cool about One Medical is how they handle insurance. If you do use their physical offices, they work with most insurance plans. But here's the thing. Sometimes their virtual care is actually cheaper than your insurance copay. I know it sounds crazy, but if your insurance has a $40 copay for urgent care and One Medical's virtual care is included in your $9 monthly membership, which one makes more sense? Let me address the cancellation policy because I know some of you are thinking, hey, what if I hate it? One Medical lets you cancel anytime. If you cancel within the first 30 days, you get a full refund. After that, you can still cancel anytime, but you won't get money back for the current month. It's pretty fair, and there are no cancellation fees or hoops to jump through. Here's something else worth mentioning. One Medical's providers are actually good. These aren't random people with questionable credentials. These are board-certified doctors and nurse practitioners licensed in your state. You can even read their bios and pick specific providers if you want to stick with the same person for ongoing care. The app itself is surprisingly user-friendly. You can message your providers, view your medical records, request prescription refills, and book appointments all from your phone. It's like having a medical records office in your pocket, except it actually works the way you'd expect it to. One Medical also does something smart with follow-up care. If you have a virtual visit and the provider thinks you need in-person care or additional testing, they'll help coordinate that. They're not just going to leave you hanging with a diagnosis and good luck figuring out what next to do. So, who should definitely consider a One Medical membership? If you're someone who uses healthcare services more than a couple times a year, if you have ongoing conditions that need monitoring, if you travel frequently and want healthcare access wherever you are, or if you just hate the traditional healthcare experience, this is probably for you. It's also great for parents. Kids get sick at the worst possible times, and being able to quickly consult with a provider about whether that cough needs immediate attention or if it can wait until morning is incredibly valuable. And here's something I really appreciate about One Medical. They're upfront about what they can and can't do. They're not trying to oversell their services or pretend they can replace all healthcare. They know their lane and they stick to it. The bottom line is this: for the cost of 2 fancy coffee drinks per month, you can have unlimited access to healthcare providers who can handle most of your day-to-day medical needs. In a world where healthcare costs are spiraling out of control, it's not just a good deal, it's practically revolutionary. So, are you ready to learn about their pay-per-visit option? Let's keep going.